Caleb Geary was running for his life through darkness. He didn't know what was chasing him, but he knew it was dangerous. His legs hurt and his lungs were on fire. He couldn't keep running forever, and then it would catch him. He couldn't think about that. He had to focus on finding a way out of this place, wherever it was. But it was so dark, he couldn't even see his hand in front of his face. He heard the thing growing closer. Spinning around, Caleb saw something in the distance. What's that up ahead? Far away was a pale blue light. He had no idea what it was, but he ran toward it, hoping it meant safety. As he drew closer, he could see that the light was coming from the screen of a phone. And, barely illuminated by the light, two people standing shoulder to shoulder. He slowed his run, getting closer to the pair. He could see it was a man and woman. The man was holding the phone out, as if offering it to Caleb. Figuring he could use it to call for help, Caleb reached out and took it. Before he dialed, he held it up to better see the people in front of him, and gasped. It was his parents. Mom? Dad? They stood motionless, their faces neutral. He took a step toward them, and that's when he noticed the blood pouring from their eyes. They were crying blood. Before he could do anything, he heard the thing behind him. There was no time to call for help. He felt its hand land heavy on his shoulder, gripping him tight and spinning him around. His heart caught in his throat as he stared at the thing in front of him. He knew it wasn't human, but it looked exactly like him, as if he were staring directly into a mirror. Its eyes began to glow red, and a wide smile broke on the thing's face. Its lips parted, showing a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth, and Caleb bolted awake in his office. Breathing heavily, wiping sweat from his brow, he felt the intense fear of the nightmare still lingering. It was the same dream he had every night for months now, but that never made it less terrifying. He had only meant to take a short nap. It was the middle of the workday after all, but apparently he had slept much longer than he anticipated, and now the day was nearly over. Standing, he opened the office's window to let some fresh air in, and was immediately hit with the familiar sounds of the amusement park. He listened casually to the people coming and going, picking up little pieces of conversation.
It's so unconvincing. We walked through the entire haunted house and weren't even scared. It's all just fake props and decorations, so what's there to be scared of? I told you guys this would be disappointing. We should have just stayed in the dorm and played video games.
Outside NightMare Manor, Adventure World's only haunted attraction, a few students hopped on their bikes and rode off without a second glance. Caleb, feeling discouraged, clenched his fists as he watched the students leave. Scaring people was an art form, but with everyone desensitized by countless horror movies, walking through a haunted house felt as routine as a walk through their own backyard.
Boss?
A clear, bright voice called out from behind him. Caleb turned to see a small zombie in a nurse's uniform coming out of NightMare Manor, visibly upset. What's wrong, Xandra? Xandra Waters was one of the part-time actors at the manor.
Boss?
Xandra hesitated, then slowly pulled 2 envelopes from her pocket.
These are resignation letters from Tom and Wesley. You've been good to them, and they felt bad telling you in person, so they asked me to give them to you.
They're leaving? Caleb was taken aback for a moment as he took the envelopes. Well, that's their decision, I guess. And what about you? A sad look came over Xandra's face. She couldn't look him in the eye as she spoke.
Boss, you know I love working here, but I have bills to pay and...
Caleb sighed. Yeah, I get it. You've been my best employee, and I appreciate everything you've done.
Again, I'm really sorry. Thank you again for everything, boss. And good luck with the manor. If you find a way to get back on track, I'll be back in a heartbeat.
As he watched the small, tough-looking zombie walk away, Caleb silently lit a cigarette. 6 months ago, his parents mysteriously disappeared, leaving him nothing but NightMare Manor. To honor their memory, Caleb quit his job as a toy designer to run NightMare Manor full-time, determined to make it a success. Unfortunately, the industry was rapidly evolving. The haunted house business was tough, a specialized market with a lot of competition and even more limitations. The same old scares get boring after you've seen them once, but constant upgrades cost a lot of money. For the past few months, NightMare Manor had been losing money. The daily ticket sales weren't enough to cover even a small portion of the utility bills. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Putting out his cigarette, Caleb was about to head back when a middle-aged man in an official Adventure World uniform walked over. The moment he saw him, Caleb reacted like a deer caught in headlights. "Trying to pretend you don't see me?" the man said, grabbing Caleb by the shoulder. "Look, we need to resolve this today. You're 2 months behind on rent. Management's been pestering me about it, and I'm under a lot of pressure." "Martin, it's not that I don't want to pay," Caleb pleaded. "Money has been really tight. Could you please give me 1 more month? You said the same thing last month." "I swear this will be the last time I ask," Caleb promised, patting his chest with a look of pure sincerity. The man, Martin Voss, glanced at the envelope in Caleb's hand, and his grip on his shoulder loosened. "You're a young guy. You could be doing anything. Why make things so difficult for yourself?" "Martin, I know you're just concerned about me," Caleb said, his voice dropping low so no one else would overhear. "But this place, it has a deeper meaning for me. It's all I have left of my parents." "I understand, Caleb, I really do. All right, I'll do my best to give you a few more weeks." "Thanks, Martin. Don't thank me yet. Just focus on working hard and selling more tickets." After the Adventure World manager left, Caleb went back into the manor and started his daily routine, checking equipment for wear and tear, patching up props, and cleaning the place from top to bottom. To the outside world, he was the owner of NightMare Manor, a young entrepreneur making his way in the world. But only he knew the immense pressure of keeping it all going. Haunted houses are all about the thrill. They get your heart pounding and your muscles tense, and when it's all over, you're left with this amazing adrenaline rush. It's a quick, satisfying jolt of fear, but it's a one-time experience with no repeat business. The fact that he'd managed to keep it running for so long on his own was a small miracle. Dragging the damaged mannequin into the repair room, Caleb got to work. He'd majored in toy design in college, and he'd built most of the props in the manor himself. The repair process was tedious. He had to stitch the mannequin's plastic skin back together, then repaint it and add weathering effects to make it look old and dirty. Just need some fake blood. I think there's some left on the 3rd floor. The NightMare Manor had 3 levels. The first 2 were for the horror scenes, and the 3rd floor was just a storage space. Opening the dusty wooden door, Caleb found the 3rd floor filled with all sorts of old props, most of them left over from when his parents ran the place. The memories were why Caleb rarely went up there. It's hard to believe it's been 6 months. Looking at the familiar old props, Caleb's mind drifted back to his childhood. Back then, his parents ran a traveling horror show, taking him all over the country. When they got busy, they'd just leave Caleb backstage with all the props and performers dressed as ghouls. You could say he was trained to be fearless from a young age. After all, while other kids were playing with alphabet blocks, he was busy with creepy masks and ghostly figures from the manor. Good times, he said softly. He found himself standing by the old wooden chest where he kept his parents' belongings. Inside was a crude stuffed doll and a sleek Onyx smartphone. The stuffed doll was the first toy Caleb ever made. The phone, however, was a complete mystery to him. The police had found both items in an abandoned hospital on the outskirts of town. Why his parents had gone there in the middle of the night was a question nobody could answer. "It's been so long. Where are you?" Caleb picked up the plush toy, squeezing its soft face and sighing. The toy reminded him of the artificial blood he needed to find for the mannequin. "If I don't make it through this slow season, I might have to sell NightMare Manor permanently." He was just talking to himself, but when he mentioned selling the manor, the Onyx smartphone, which had been inactive for months, suddenly lit up with a cold, faint glow. What the? If it were anyone else, their heart would be racing, their palms sweaty. In contrast, Caleb's reaction was much more direct. He picked up the phone and took a second look to make sure he wasn't hallucinating. "I've tried turning this thing on countless times, but nothing happened. Why is it suddenly turning on now?" Suppressing his excitement, Caleb unlocked the phone. The phone's home screen displayed a single app with a creepy icon. That icon looks familiar. It looks like the front gate of NightMare Manor. Caleb frowned and tapped the app. Text in blood red appeared on the screen. "Do you believe ghosts are real?" Are ghosts real? That's a deep question. For a practical person like Caleb, it was a challenging thought. "I guess they could be." Caleb made his selection. A few seconds later, new text appeared on the screen. "NightMare Manor is teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. There are no positive reviews at all. Visitors today, 4. This month, only 10 visitors have ventured into the manor, highlighting the struggle to attract more guests. There are currently no members in your team of ghosts. There are currently no props available. There are currently no achievements unlocked. Current attraction, subpar props, amateur actors, and a lack of cohesive narrative. Fright factor, 0 stars. Here are the scenarios you can unlock in NightMare Manor. Midnight Massacre. A dangerous psychopath with scissors and a hammer has moved into this dilapidated apartment building, and he's waiting right outside your door. Scream factor, 1 star. The Reaper's Ride. The hearse is on the move. If you can't escape within the hour, you'll be trapped forever. Scream factor, 2 stars. Ward C. Strange sounds echo through this abandoned hospital late at night. You, a reporter, will go inside to investigate. Scream factor, 3 stars. Complete the daily missions to earn rewards and unlock more scenarios. For NightMare Manor to expand, it needs to attract over 100 visitors this month and achieve an approval rating of 60% or higher. After 3 expansions, it will be upgraded to the Shrieking Labyrinth. Wheel of Terror. Use the scream points visitors earn to spin the wheel. Life and death hang in the balance. You might win a physical object that extends your life, or you could release a vengeful ghost. Other features are currently unavailable. How do you wish to proceed?